this video we're going to review the DJI Osmo Plus. This is basically a stabilized gimbal system, but it's got a 4K camera, a 50 centimeter focal length, which means that you can use it as a selfie camera or close-up and things like that, and it's also got 3.5 times optical zoom. The fact that you can plug in an external microphone as well makes it an ideal camera for me, thinking that it would be great for videoing products and also to be able to video myself as well while I talk about products and interviews and all sorts of things like that that I do with my work as well as this YouTube channel. So in this review we're basically going to go through the product, we're going to go through unboxing it and just talk about my findings and overall what I think about the product. So it comes with the usual DJI packaging, which is, you know, quite sort of advanced really for most products. It opens up in a very special way as well. I've seen lots of people tear into the boxes, but actually have to open the flaps at either end. And inside there you get the usual product guides, some straps and carry straps. The actual camera comes in its own little case, and you get this little natty external microphone, which is, well, let's just move on to that. So inside the carry case is the camera itself and obviously the little bracket that you attach your phone to. It's a very nice case and easy to carry around and does protect the camera really well. So the little accessory that they give you with it is to hold the phone, because obviously you use the phone as a viewfinder really. The phone connects to the camera wirelessly. So the camera actually has its own 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi hotspot built into it, and your phone connects to that hotspot and allows you to see what the camera's seeing. So in this one, at the moment, I'm obviously just got it in the DJI stand, the base. While I set it up, this was an added extra that I purchased for about £20, but unfortunately, as you can see, the base, if it kind of is used the way that they want it to be used, is very wibbly. But if you spin it around the other way, it's not so wibbly. The unfortunate thing then is if you load everything up on one side, it gets a bit wibbly again. But hey ho, DJI, you need to fix that. So once you've got the accessory on the side there, you basically just screw it in, put it at the angle you want, and that just basically opens up them and allows you to put your phone into the side and obviously connect and then use your phone as a viewfinder. And there are all sorts of other things. The app's great on there, so it allows you to do all sorts of other things via the app. So the screen is actually very well used. Now in the box as well, they do give you some accessories, and one of them is a microphone. Basically the DJI Osmo really doesn't come with the ability to record, although it does have an inbuilt microphone. It's around the back near the trigger. Strange enough, right next to where you plug this little stupid natty microphone in. So that little hole there is basically an inbuilt microphone. They call it a reference microphone, although you can plug your own microphone in there. Like say, I use this little natty one, but I've also used a Rode Video Mic Pro. So basically, the onboard audio recording capabilities of the Osmo are not great. So what I did, I got this little accessory. Again, it's a DJI accessory, doesn't cost an awful lot. See what I mean about the base or wibbly there? And the accessory basically clips on the back of the phone holder mount and gives you a hot shoe adapter, which is perfect for the Rode mic to go on the top of, but it also basically allows you to spin it around and mount it on top or below. And that allows you just to flip the microphone round. For example, if you are interviewing somebody or if you're doing the recording in selfie mode, you can flip the microphone round to suit. And one of the beauties about the side arm of the Osmo is that there are many accessories built for it. So it's quite a modular design. And this one is a little arm that allows you to basically get the screen or the other accessories you attach to it slightly away from the Osmo. So you could have it pointing towards the trigger end, or as I've got it pointing towards me. It depends on which way you want to use it. I thought it would just be better to bring the screen a little bit closer to me while I was recording it, and also then it allows me to easily mount accessories on the other side, like a microphone or something like that. And everything is modular, like I say, so even the extra long sort of selfie stick or tripod stick, they've all got that kind of same adapter at the other end, which allows you to sort of use everything together and all the accessories in many different ways And the selfie stick, or tripod arm, or whatever you want to call it, is a great device. Basically, it goes to about 4 feet in height, 4 feet long, and it screws in the side of the Osmo, or it'll screw in the side of the arm. It's basically just a 1/4 inch standard camera mount thread. But the beauty about the Osmo arm is that it's got an articulating sort of ball joint head, which does allow you to lock it in place at a certain sort of angle or a certain height. And then obviously you've got an extra arm then on top of it, so it allows you to sort of get the Osmo further away, say you wanted to get it higher, or further away to do like a selfie shot over the edge of a cliff or a building or something like that. So you can extend it quite far out to take a shot. Now yes, at 4 feet this whole thing starts to get a little bit shaky and a little bit heavy, but obviously, like I said, the other side of this is that you can use it as a tripod, and this is the other part of the tripod assembly. So this is just basically the tripod stand. Again, it's got the same thread on there and a little lock as well to lock it in place so it doesn't move after you've screwed it in. So with the base on there and then your extension arm attached to it, it's quite a stable tripod. The only thing I've found is on time lapses, if it's windy, you do see that little sort of movement in the tripod. It does get a little bit flexible at the top, but on video and all those kind of functions, it's all fine. Again, with this side fitment, it allows you to fit other things, and one thing that I've found is a little sort of extension arm, where it's got lots of 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch threads on there, and it even comes with 2 hot shoe adapters as well, and that basically allows you to mount multiple devices all at the same time. And this is great if you want to use, for example, a light on there as well as the microphone. And I would recommend the Lume Cube. Fantastic light. It's such a small device as well. So it's fantastic for lighting up the areas that you want to video or take photos of, as well as, you know, use the other fitments on there for something like a microphone. And again, on the stand, this all fits together. It's all got the same adapters on there, all got the same fitments on the end, so you can carry on using all your standard gear. You can even attach a standard tripod mount if you wanted to the end as well. So let's get into the actual controls now. And on-screen controls are basically just an extension of some of the buttons on there. So for example, if you hold your finger down on the screen, you'll feel the haptic feedback vibrate and it'll beep, and then you can start moving the camera around as if you were using a little joystick on the front, but basically with your finger. So you'll have a dot in the middle where you started the point from, and then you move it left and right, and that's when you can return to that point. And you can also use the zoom, basically to zoom in and out on the screen, and you've got all the other functions there for the gimbal, the settings, to center itself, to turn it into selfie mode, and then other functions. For example, if you wanted to do a calibration, if you've had it in the bag for a few days and you just wanted to run a calibration check on there, and then the camera will go away, calibrate itself, spin around. Obviously during this process, make sure the camera is absolutely still, and that the base is as upright as you can possibly get it, and that way then when it calibrates itself and the next time you're holding it, hopefully it'll know which way is up, left and right, and then give you better stabilization and better pictures. Press the trigger and use the joystick in an up or down motion. It allows you to zoom in or out of the picture, and that's an optical zoom on there as well. So it's just like moving the buttons actually on the screen to move in or out, to zoom in or out. Now the trigger also has different functions. So you've got 1 tap centers, and then you've got 3 tap goes to selfie mode. Sorry, 2 tap centers, and 3 taps goes to selfie mode, and then 2 taps back again, and then that sort of just spins round, and that's the trigger functions dealt with. Like I said, and that's just showing again how you press the trigger and use the joystick on top to zoom in and zoom out. And the other buttons on the front are a record button, and when you press record, you'll see the red light at the top there is flashing. And same again when you take a picture, the green light flashes on the top left just momentarily. And you've got all the different modes as well. So for example, if you wanted to just take a pano, you can put it into pano mode, and then it just sort of flicks around at certain points and takes several pictures to produce a panorama. Now another beauty about this one is that you've got a pano mode which is 3x3, so the end result gives you a fisheye kind of perspective of whatever it was you're taking a picture of. But obviously there's still a great function at the end of it, and all the processing is done within the camera, and then the picture's beam back. Again, different options on here for being able to take slow motion just like you would on a normal camera, and also then don't forget you've got extra features like time-lapse and motion time-lapse as well. So for example, motion time-lapse allows you to move the camera around between several points. I think it's up to 5 or 6 points that you can set along the exposure time that you've set. So you can start at saying I want it to take a picture every second, and I want the duration to be a minute, and then you can set the points that you want it to look at along that duration. Now the button, the power button as well, also has some functions for sleep mode. So for example, the red light starts to flash, the battery's going, just knock the button very gently just once, and that puts it into sleep mode. It goes all floppy and the screen says it's in sleep mode. And to wake it up again, basically just tap the button again. The camera will start to spin round, the lights come back on again, and then after a couple of seconds it re-establishes the Wi-Fi link between the phone and the camera. And then obviously the image comes back and it all comes back to life again. So you can carry on using it, and obviously just bear in mind that the battery might sort of still go, but it's a way to save the battery life. Now, a way to download what you've recorded if you don't want to take the SD card out is go into the gallery. Obviously you can watch what we've done here, the motion time lapse, and basically download to your camera roll. This is for iPhone users. For some reason the Android app says everything in a DJI folder within your folder gallery, but on the iPhone it doesn't. So overall it does have its faults, unfortunately, and they're kind of quite big ones. Basically the camera seems to wander around ever so slightly, probably not even a millimeter in movement, but it does it in a way that it's random and it carries on doing it. So it's not like it moves to the left and stops, it wanders. So the image you're looking on the screen now is taken directly off the camera. I just had it sat there on the Osmo base and it carried on doing this. There's no rhyme, reason or explanation behind that. It's all running the latest firmware. The base wasn't moving, it was nice and tight. I then tried it on a tripod just to make sure, so it was literally sort of locked in place on a tripod. And it still did the same thing. Here you can see it's still moving up and down and left and right. And that wasn't the only fault, unfortunately. I'm not happy about the clarity of the images it's producing either. Still images seem a bit washed out, and the videos don't always seem to be crisp and clear, despite the autofocus system saying it's focused as well. And another side effect I found out as well is that, and I got this off the DJI forums, basically you have to change the Wi-Fi settings, and it also won't even work with some Wi-Fi devices. Like Samsung phones aren't always compatible. You get a crackling noise over the top of all your audio, whether you're using the inbuilt DAF mic or an external mic like the Rode video mic as well. So coming up now are some recordings with me playing around with the Wi-Fi settings and also the volume settings, because you can change the volume on the mic input. Just to go through and see if I can find out how to get this fault out of the way, because it was so annoying. So let's just test the actual quality of this. I can still hear the fan going in there, so it's not great. Depends if you can hear it in the microphone there as well. So vlogging into this system, obviously everything's set up now. I'm quite close to the camera, talking away. It's focused on my face, and I'm not talking too loud, not talking too quietly. So let's see how this one pans out. Testing, audio noise, testing, audio noise and audio volume. How does it sound now? So let's put it to the test against an Osmo mobile running with a smartphone. Let's just see what it goes on. I think that picture looks washed out for me. We're on the Osmo Plus right now. Let's do some video, and again I think that's washed out for me. Just not crisp, clear, and I don't know, it's like it's on a flat profile, flat image profile, just not very clear at all. Then we'll flip over and basically try it out again on the Osmo mobile running with a new Galaxy S8 Plus. We'll go through exactly the same feature, and we're looking at the same objects. So that's a photo taken. Again, I think that's clearer and sharper. And then obviously now we'll start a video. Moving up the wall, instantly to me that looks much sharper, and the quality of the image, you know, sort of like colors and things like that, more vibrant, a lot crisper and clearer. Obviously the zoom on the smartphone is not optical, but it still looked pretty good. So that part of the video really was just to go through the comparison of the Osmo Plus, the very latest DJI Osmo, and also the Osmo Mobile, which is the original one that came out, running with a Galaxy S8 Plus. But obviously they're both mounted on the same table, looking at the same things, in the same lighting, and they're using the same physical base, as you can see from this image now. So it's a very easy comparison for me. Hands down won by the Galaxy S8 on the DJI Osmo Mobile. So as I said, it's very hit and miss. I mean, here's some pictures outdoor now. We went to the Normandy beach landing museums and things like that. So the outdoor pictures are really good. Some of the indoor pictures are really good as well. The problem is there's no consistency. I mean, this picture was right next to the other one, and this one's blurred. And then I've got some pictures which are outdoor pictures, but sort of inside something, that are blurred again. And even a picture like this just seems to be not as crisp and sharp as it should be. Then we move over to some video, and again the video is lovely and crisp and clear, very smooth, and as the motion goes sideways and I pan to the right, it's still a lovely crisp image. So for me, it's just a problem with it not having consistency. So on our way back home, we stopped off at the National Memorial Arboretum just outside of Birmingham. And even in these pictures, as you can see, this gentleman's looking at some names on the wall and the statues and people walking up the steps. They're all still not crisp and clear. The pictures just are not as I would expect, and a bit disappointed overall. So again, what I was trying to explain before was it's not really going to work with every device that I've tried. Here you're looking at a Galaxy Note 5, and you can see the breakup on the screen and the stalling, the freezing of the image. I went to the data center to do a video that's going to come up quite soon, and that just wouldn't work at all. The screen just stopped responding. There's so much interference, whether it was on 2.4G or 5G Wi-Fi. I then started to use the Galaxy S8 Plus that I've got, and I had exactly the same issues where the information just wouldn't synchronize. It'd disconnect, reconnect, which means you just can't use it as a viewfinder. What I found out with this one was that the two DJI apps that I use for my Mavic drone and the Osmo were conflicting with each other. It would come up and give information like you've just seen on the screen there, saying that the device is connected to another device already, and it clearly wasn't. So what I had to do was go into the apps in the settings of the Android phone and force stop the DJI apps each time I'd used either one of them, then go back into the Osmo, and then it'd work flawlessly. But there's clearly something going on with Android DJI apps and the Osmo. It just doesn't work, and that was just disappointing. I know this has been an exceptionally long review for me, but I wanted to make sure I covered everything with this product and all its good and bad features to make sure everyone had an informed decision should they want to go out and spend £700 and buy one. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you on my next video. Take care now. Goodbye.